Hey guys. So, it's been a really long time since I've had my face on camera to talk to you guys. That's partly due to having a broken laptop, but it's also partly due to how busy I've been. I moved out of my parents' house about a year and a half ago and was working for a while, and I actually just recently moved back into my parents' house. A lot has changed over the last year or so. A big thing being that I came out as transgender, so I'm female now. Um, while I was in the shower a few minutes ago, a thought popped into my head though, and I wanted to express it in words and not just type it out, so I thought I would do a little video. I wanted to talk about the fact that we live in a society where our whole way of life is structured on obeying and following the rules. We live in a world that breeds stupid people. And this starts when we're just infants, when we're toddlers. We, instead of watching the world and learning and developing on our own, we're told to say mama, and we're told to wave bye to the stranger, and this kind of instigating your own child's behavior only gets worse as children get older. Because instead of simply teaching them how to live, we start teaching them how to live the way we want them to. We start pounding our own opinions and ideas into their head as soon as they're old enough to follow an order. And not only do we teach our children to follow orders and not think for themselves, but we discourage them from thinking for themselves. A good example of that would be, I was talking to a friend of mine recently. She's more of a friend, really. But she's 13 and she's in junior high. And she was telling her mother the other day about this idea for her future that she had, that she wanted to travel the world, go to all these other countries and go to school and learn about different cultures and come back to America and teach people in America about all these different cultures around the world. And her mother shrugged her off for it. She was just like, oh, you're just a kid. You don't know what you want. You can't be making those kinds of decisions, and you shouldn't be thinking about those kinds of things. You're just a kid. And I was just sitting here thinking, really? Like, your child wants to do these great things when she's older, and you're telling her to forget about it because she's just a kid and shouldn't be thinking about those kinds of things? And we wonder why our country is full of a bunch of lazy idiots. You know, it's almost as if we try to force our children to stay young and to stay innocent. Allowing them to stay innocent is definitely a good thing. We don't want to force kids to grow up too quickly like they have to in some other countries, but we take it a little farther and almost force them to stay innocent. I mean, if a child chooses to be more mature, we should encourage it, not shut them down. It breeds better, more mature people if we let children learn whenever they feel ready. Kids deserve the chance to be kids, but if they feel like they want to grow up faster than the rest of their peers, we should let them. And this applies to so many other aspects in life as well. We don't let our children be interested in grown-up stuff, and we shelter them from the world like we don't want them to grow up too quickly. And this shows in the way we teach our kids to interact with other people as well. We tell them who they can and can't be friends with based on weird judgmental points of view that we have. And we teach children to fear and avoid romance and sex, which only raises adults who don't know how to have a relationship. I mean, I've met plenty of people who can't manage to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend because they are so intimidated and nervous about relationships and sex that they don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to look for. And it's because they were raised to avoid sex and to avoid relationships. And, oh, that's grown-up stuff. You shouldn't be thinking about that when you're young. And yeah, it's true. Those are kind of things that kids don't really need to concern themselves with, but allowing them to learn whenever they feel ready breeds more intelligent and socially better adults. And we so rarely give children any reason why they can't do or have the things they want. We so frequently just say, because I told you so, which does nothing but breed mindless idiots. And honestly, the because I told you so thing is probably the worst parenting fuck-up I've ever known of. Telling your kid because I told you so is literally just telling them do what I say because you have no personal, freedom or choice, and you don't need to know, you just need to do it. And this continues even when we're teenagers and adults. We're still taught to obey. We have to dress and act a certain way and conform so we can get good jobs. We have to do what our bosses and teachers say just to stay alive. Our whole world is filled with people who wouldn't know how to stay alive if there wasn't someone there telling them what to do. I mean, wake up, people. Open your eyes, open your children's eyes, open your siblings' eyes, open your brother's eyes. Our world is never going to progress if we continue to raise our children and mold our family and friends in ways which limit them and tell them what they can and can't do and what should and shouldn't be. If we put all of these standards of what people of certain age groups, of certain genders, of certain nationalities, of certain social classes, if we set all these standards for all these things of what they should and shouldn't do, it's only going to limit us and make us stupider, and we're going to be more mindless and do nothing but what we're told just because we're told to do it. Freedom of choice is something we need to focus on a lot more in this world if we're going to stay alive. Freedom of choice for everyone. Every gender, every age group. We raise our children with so many restrictions and teach them that they have to avoid so many things and have to think in certain ways and have to discount certain ideas. And when we're adults, we teach people that people of certain religions and certain genders are so much more limited, and that having certain sexualities or certain interests are going to ruin your life. These kinds of conservative, setting away things should be ideas breed idiots. And our world is just going to keep plummeting into stupidity, degradation, and nothingness if we don't all wake up and realize that, guess what? From the time we are born, each and every one of us needs to be allowed to make our own decisions in a lot more cases than we do now, so that we can learn how the world works and be decent, functional people. Anyway, that's my rant. Just wanted to talk about that in something besides just a Facebook post, so I thought I'd make a little video. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed that, and I will see you later. Bye.